Yes, we had been waiting for you, but we are glad that you're here finally.
Yes, thank you
And
very
I
much for having
know
me.
these technical issues are always a challenge to many people.
Yeah, especially for me, I'm not a really Facebook person, but I'm learning.
Oh, okay. And you're doing good so far. You're doing good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so pleasure meeting you.
Share. The pleasure is shared, Anthony. Good to meet you too.
Yeah, so I'm going to officially now introduce you again. So this is Anthony Morore on Book Talk with Kleber Mbenoun, and we are live and we are having a good discussion today. And we are going to base it on a book that Kleber has written, which is called More Than a Great Partner. So, without wasting any more minute, let me introduce to you Kleber. Kleber, please welcome.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you for having me
Yep,
on your show.
yep. And tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Well, I would say I am a husband of
Mm-hmm.
16 years. I am a father of 4 children.
Wow.
I am a Christian,
Uh-huh.
but more importantly, now I am an author of a book called More Than a Great Partner,
Yeah.
how to find and how to find and keep the right mate. That's the book. This is how it looks. More Than a Great Partner, how to find and keep
How to find and keep the right
the
mate.
right mate. Yeah, because you
I've
can
read
find the right
that
mate
one
and
for
lose
someone
it.
who may not be able to be reading.
Okay. So
Yeah.
this is who I am this morning for our audience. Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much and welcome to our show. So I know we are going to have a good journey along, and let's get started. Did I hear you say you're a bishop or something?
No, I say I'm a Christian. I'm not a bishop.
Ah,
I'm a
Christian.
Christian.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one escaped me. So you are a Christian. So I
Yeah.
want to believe that whatever is based, is discussed in the book is based on Christian principles.
Well, yes, but it's based on Christian principle because, but I wrote a book for non-believer as well.
Yeah.
Why? Because I demonstrate in the book that none of us is qualified to find the right mate.
Yeah.
The right mate being the best possible partner anyone could find. So you
Mm-hmm.
can't find the best possible partner unless you know all possibilities.
Yeah.
So it takes omniscience and omnipotence to find the right mate. That's
Uh-huh.
why I demonstrate to the reader that although you can find a great mate on your own,
Yeah.
in order for you to find the right mate, you need to go to the one who knows everything
Yeah.
and has your best interest at heart.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so that's where I bring them to Christian principles.
Oh, that's wonderful. So whoever is listening there, if you are looking for the right mate, you've been searching all over and have not found someone to be with, this is your show. Please, if you would be, it will be easy for you to send us a question. Kleber will be very willing to answer. And
Yeah.
please share this video with all your friends as we proceed. So, when was this book written, if I may ask?
It came out in 2016,
Yeah.
but I started writing about 4 years ago before that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
And
yeah.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I was asking, but the experiences that you talk about in the book, I believe, stretch even much more than that. It's not something that it came into your mind and you started writing. Maybe it's through some experiences that you've had in your own life that in those 4 years that you had been writing, you were focusing, you were reviewing those experiences and the ideas that you may have had before that.
Yeah, I think made the decision to write a book based on one particular, I would say, it wasn't my personal experience, it was a circumstance. So I
Yeah.
was going with my then fiance with a couple of friends to one of my friends swearing in. My friend is an attorney, so we're in the car. It was about 2 or 3 hours away. So we're talking about different things, relationship and all that. There was a young lady in her 30s in particular who was single.
Yeah.
And through what she was saying, I understood that she wanted to get married naturally.
Mhm.
And well, I tried to explain to her the principle, but we're mainly in the car and I didn't want to confiscate the conversation. So
Yeah.
I decided to buy a book that will explain to her what to do. So I went to a Christian store. I looked at different books. There were good books there, but I
Yeah.
didn't find a book that would take her from where she is, her mindset, her life circumstances, all to the point where she's going to identify with certainty the right mate.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I decided, well, if there is no such a book, well, let me write a book like that. That's why I decided to write this book. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Because I believe that is not only that particular lady that you were into contact with, but we have a lot of people who may be going through the same dilemma as her and don't have an answer to how they can find a spouse. So we are really blessed to have you on our show today, because even before we take the book, I know we are going to get some little tips to someone who will be waiting. So then you wrote the book and published it. Uh, how did you publish it? This is for someone, because I've been having so many people who've been asking, hey, how do I write a book and publish, even before we go deeper into the message?
Well, was traditionally published, meaning that it was published through a publisher. So
Okay.
when I was writing the book, when I started looking for publisher, because you have two ways of publishing. You can self-publish or publish through a traditional publisher.
Yeah.
Self-publish means you invest
Mm-hmm.
yourself
Yeah.
to publish a book. Traditional publishing means through a publisher, he invests money to publish a book.
Yeah.
So many traditional publishers actually, these are the agent, literary agent. They
Mm-hmm.
told me that you are unknown, you are first-time author, you are not going to find a publisher.
Yeah.
Just go to self-publishing.
Uh-huh.
So I start praying. I would say I sent maybe 300 query letters, you know,
Oh.
eh,
Uh-huh.
to different agents, to different publishers.
Yeah.
So at one point, I met somebody who showed interest to my book. Actually,
Okay.
two people, but the last one showed interest in my book. So we signed a contract, we start working,
Yeah.
and then I realized that, well, this wasn't the guy I want to work with because he wasn't honest. He came with all kinds of tricks, and at one point he wanted to cancel the contract
Yeah.
because of maybe some difficulty he had on his end. So
Mm-hmm.
I was praying, and God spoke to me. God said, "Don't you think that if I ask you to write a book, because this
Yeah.
God asked me to write a book, I have in mind somebody going to publish the book?
Yeah.
So why, when you went to that publisher and signed a contract, did you ask me? It's not because it was hard for you to find a publisher that you
Yeah.
think I don't have someone in mind for you."
Mm-hmm.
So we canceled that contract,
Yeah.
and I mean, maybe a week later, I found the right publisher, the person God has prepared for me. Now,
Okay.
usually in traditional publishing, it takes time. So after you submit your manuscript, it might take 6 months, a year, because they have so many other things to do. With
Yeah.
this
Sure.
guy, he started working on my book maybe in a matter of a month.
Mm-hmm.
So God has really prepared him. Now, if you are a writer, this is what I would suggest you do if you want to
Yeah.
write books. First, you got to create a platform, social
Yeah.
platform. You have to have a following, because
Mm-hmm.
that is the most important, I mean, one of the most important elements for
Mm-hmm.
publisher. They want to be able to sell the book. The second thing, you got to write a very good manuscript
Yeah.
about a subject you are passionate about. Just don't
Yeah.
write a book. Write something about what you're passionate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those will be my advices to those who want to write books. Yeah. But
Whoa.
for this book, God is the
Yeah.
one who allowed me to put it on the market.
Whoa. 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 That's a good answer. You know what I see in that? Leave alone the book. I see someone who's been trying to find the right partner. He's looked at some 300 potential partners. He's maybe made a move and is just at a point of giving up, just like maybe you are about to give up when you are going to publish a book. And then he or she may have come across someone who was not meant for him or her, just because he or she did not ask God about the right one. Now, if you're listening, you've been trying to find the right partner, you've looked far and you've not found any, there's still someone who is right for you. Yeah, just
Yeah,
believe that. So you
yeah,
may meet
absolutely.
someone who was not meant to be, but you have to ask God, is this quite the right person that you sent me to? So thank you very much, Kleber, for that. And now the book is out and people need to read it. And this is one of the reasons why we are here, so that someone may get to know the existence of this book and get to buy it. And it's on Amazon. I believe we'll share the links to the Amazon where you can buy the book. Now, how many pages is the book?
It's about 235 pages. Yeah,
Oh,
235 pages.
that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
quite a book. That's quite a book.
yeah, this size.
It's
Yeah.
quite a book. A book that is over 200 pages. That is quite. So I believe there is so much packed in those pages, and we'll be very blessed to have a bit of what is packed in that page, in those pages. And
Yeah,
please
absolutely.
tell us one or two. Tell us one or two lessons that we expect to get from that book.
Well, the first
Or
thing I can
actually,
say,
I believe there's a. I want to believe, or this is my imagination, that the way the book is presented, that's what I'm imagining, that the way the book is presented is a process of finding a mate. If I'm wrong, you can correct me, but this is what I think. And if there's a process, you can take us through the process so that we can get a clear picture.
okay, well, the first thing the book defines what is the right mate. You'll be surprised
Yeah.
to know that people don't know what is the right mate. I actually ask people the question, what is the right
Mm,
mate to you? We say people will say, is someone who's gonna love me, care for me? Is
yeah.
somebody I'm attracted to? Is somebody we're gonna provide security and all these kind of things, right?
Yeah.
That is okay. The right mate
Mm-hmm.
is all of that, but that's not the definition of the right mate. So the first thing the book defines is who is the right mate. The right
Mm-hmm.
mate is the best possible partner you could find and who
Yeah.
comes with a promise of a loving, fulfilling, and lasting relationship. So behind the
Mm-hmm.
definition, we have two assumptions. The first assumption is the best partner you can find. The second
Yeah.
assumption is there's no divorce. You're going to stay for the rest of your life. So the
Uh-huh.
first part of the chapter define the right mate, and then the second chapter define show different wrong ways people trying to find mates. One of the
Yeah.
wrong ways is dating. People trying to find the right mate through dating, and which can be, by the way, counterproductive. But maybe we can talk about it later. So
Yeah.
and then I talk about the necessity to get God involved. Because you can't, like I said before, you can't find the best possible partner unless you know all possibilities. You
Mm-hmm.
don't know all possibilities unless you have all information.
Yeah.
And what people don't know is that God is in the matchmaking business. It's in the Bible. I've seen in my life around me.
Yeah.
So I show people how to invite God in the search for the right mate.
Yeah.
And then we go through money issue, how to approach the right mate, where's the place of money and beauty and power and these kind of things when you search for the right mate. Because these things can be deceiving, distracting, and they can actually throw you off. For instance, I noticed God spoke to me that one of the reasons why so many Christians struggle, Christian females struggle, because they have the wrong mindset, the wrong image of the right mate. So after that, I take the reader through how to prepare himself for the right, because a good relationship must involve two good people.
Yeah.
So people out there seeking the right mate, but the right mate is seeking them as his right mate too.
Yeah.
So you are somebody's right mate as he is your right mate. It's just don't your desire that must be fulfilled. His desire must be fulfilled too. So in order to get to that point, so I show the reader how to prepare yourself for the right relationship. And then I show the reader how that you're going to be a waiting period. God's going to have you wait for some time. Now, the reason why God will have you wait, and we're going to come back to that later. And then I show the right mate to how the dynamic, for instance, of a good marriage. If you want to have a good marriage, that certain things you have to be prepared to do. For one of the things is to forgive.
Yeah.
You got to be someone who forgives all the time. So, and then I show the reader how to identify the right mate for certain. No guess. For sure that this is the person I should marry. And then I talk at the conclusion, I talk about the possibility of divorce. Can you divorce the right mate? That's actually or let me take you back. Before that, there's a chapter called Not Required. Because I was writing the book, God showed me that when people read this book, they might be intimidated. They might feel like, well, I'm not a saint enough to be qualified for the right mate. And God allowed me, inspired me to write a book about people, common people like me, average people, like a mother of 4 children who had a bad relationship, to whom God gave a good husband. Like this guy named Luis Nevares. Luis Nevares was a drug dealer, a bank robber. As he said himself, he said that he committed all kinds of sins except the sin of sleeping with another man. So he tells his story. I tell the story of Luis in the book, how when he turned his ways around, God gave him a wife. And then I conclude by asking, can you divorce the right mate? If you keep close relationship with God, there's no divorce. But if after you receive the right mate, you get away from God, there is a possibility. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there is a possibility. So this is in a snapshot what the book's about.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. We have some people who are watching us, and one of the people who is watching us is called Despina P Square, and she has a comment to make. She says, I'm single for too long. I'm careful not to rush into meeting someone, and whether I like someone, I always pray to God to show me if he is the right one, and God really answers me right away. One thing I realized is when you grow older, it's more harder to find someone right for you, even though at this stage we know better what we need. Is that true?
Absolutely not true. What I'm saying not true is that she said when you grow older, it becomes harder to find someone. Yeah, it might become harder to find someone if you want to do it on your own.
Yeah.
I gave you the example of a woman. She was about, it's my friend actually. She's a good friend of mine. I tell her story. She was about 42 years old with 4 children, with a previous relationship. So she went to God and she prays. And she said, Father, I need a husband. She gave the age, the husband she wanted, the cultural group. She said, I want somebody who has never been married, who doesn't have children. She had 4 children of her own.
Yeah.
Guess what? God gave her that. I attended the wedding, God gave her just that. So what I can tell our friend is that she served a powerful God.
Yeah.
maybe she just don't believe that that God is enough powerful to give him. God
Mm-hmm.
will give him if she does the right thing. Period. It's as
Okay.
simple as that. And the story doesn't even end here. My friend is 44 years
Yeah.
old, right? She has 4 kids. She has a new
Mm-hmm.
husband. And she has
Yeah.
fibroma in her uterus. She tried to get pregnant. Doctors say, well, we don't think it's going to happen. You have too many fibroma. You can adopt, you can do this and that. But she believed God. She
Yeah.
said, no, God's going to give me a child through natural ways.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what God does? When they put her on the
Yeah.
treatment to treat that fibroma, the doctor
Okay.
said during the treatment, you cannot get pregnant. It
Mm-hmm.
was exactly during that treatment that she became pregnant and she
Yeah.
gave birth to a girl. So I'm
Yeah.
going to tell my friend that yes, it might be difficult for her,
Yeah.
but it's absolutely not a challenge for God. Absolutely not a challenge.
Oh, and I believe what you said, and I agree with you that there's nothing too big for God. I mean, we serve a living God, a big God, so there's nothing big for God when you ask Him in the right way. And if His will is for you to be in that situation, then He's gonna provide.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let me go back a little bit, and ask you if you would be willing to tell us, how did you find your spouse?
Oh, well, I've been praying for my wife for 5 years, right?
Yeah.
And my friend, I just tell the story about. She
Mm-hmm.
sent me an email. That was in May 2004.
Yeah.
She said, I had a dream. And she said, in the dream, God showed me your wife.
Yeah.
And she described the woman she saw in the dream.
Uh-huh.
She said she's going to be from the same nationality. She's going to be this tall. She's going to look like someone who can get weight if she doesn't control herself.
Yeah.
And she had big breasts. That's what she says. This is how
Mm-hmm.
many details she gave. And she said, look around you, the woman, the girl who has this characteristic.
Yeah.
So I look around, none of the girls had those characteristics. About that was in May, she sent the email. About in October,
Mm-hmm.
my aunt who was here, she told me that, oh, I met a group of new girl who came from back home. I found one who was beautiful. I think you might be interested in her. Now, in the dream my friend gave me, she said my wife had dark skin, the dream she saw. So my aunt said, well, you know what? There is a party coming up. She's going to be invited to the party, so you're going to see her. So I went to the party and I saw the girl, but she had light skin. And in my mind, I was like, okay, the dream says she would dark skin. This girl light skin is not her. But I managed to take a picture of her, right? She took a picture of my aunt, something like that. So I had a picture. And a week later, a friend, my brother-in-law introduced me to her formally because I didn't want to go to my aunt and say, oh, well, this is not a girl because she's dark skin or light skin. My aunt would not have understood that. So, well,
Mm-hmm.
I was introduced to her. We exchanged phone number. We start talking. So while I was talking to her, maybe a week later, I said, wow, this girl has really everything I asked God for. So I pull up the picture that I have taken and I pull up my friend's email that she gave in May 10. So I compare, I said, wow, this girl is meeting all of the characteristic my friend gave me,
Okay.
except for the skin complexion. So I
Yeah.
start praying God, and God said, well, He hid the skin complexion because He wanted me to like her before she's revealed to me. She said, this is your wife, and this is your wife I'm being married to. Yeah, that's how I met her.
Oh, okay. So if we can put it this way, that you met your wife in a spiritual kind of way. I mean, it's not it's not the physical looks that you've seen in her. It's not something that she had done when you had met already. It's something that was revealed to you.
Yeah, I like her physically. She was beautiful, right? And it
Yeah.
was something that was revealed to me. But that's not the only ways God reveals children. They have thousands of ways. And actually, in the book, I gave
Okay.
4 ways God can reveal your partner. The first way God can reveal
Okay.
is through. In the book, I gave example. I gave examples of different ways. So the
Uh,
first way God can
uh,
reveal is through dreams.
we are having a little issue with the connection. I don't know why.
Yeah.
The internet
But can you
has
hear
a
me?
little issue. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. And I think it's just the network. It's not you, but
Yeah.
I can hear you. Yeah. Yeah, you are talking
Yes.
about the 4 ways that you give in the book.
Yeah. The first way is through, can be a dream, but that is very rare. The
Yeah.
second way is probably a vision too. Vision,
Yeah.
I have seen, I've known people who have received a vision of the partner God wants them to marry. The
Yeah.
fourth way is, the third way is through that person action and character. That
Okay.
means when you see a potential partner, as you interact with that person and you pray,
Mm-hmm.
God brings out on the surface the character of that person. Let's say you pray for somebody who likes children, you're going to see that how he does.
Yeah.
You pray for somebody who is humorous, you're going to see it. As you interact, God reveals that person's character,
Yeah.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
another way is by God speaking through your spirit. I told you, so it's too long to tell now, but God revealed. That means God says something, keep on saying something about the particular person, the particular
Yeah.
person. So yeah, but the ultimate sign when you know this for sure is the peace. When you meet the person God has for you and that everything falls in place, you have a sense of deeper peace. That peace cannot fool you. I told a story of a woman I met before I met my wife. She
Okay.
was fine. She had everything I was looking for, but I didn't have peace about her. I was very uncomfortable. She had everything. She was fine. Now, it doesn't mean that she was a bad person. It only meant that it wasn't the person God wanted me to marry.
Okay. Is there, okay, we are talking about the right person, the right spouse, the right mate that someone meets. Does right mean perfection? I mean, someone who is perfect.
No, no, absolutely not. The right mate is not
Yeah.
the perfect mate. The
Mm-hmm.
right mate is the best possible partner you can find. At the
Okay.
same time, the right mate comes with his faults and weaknesses, right? He might be
Yeah.
someone who talk too much. He might be, I mean, the right mate is just a person. But
Yeah.
what is about good about the right mate is that on the major issue of life, he's
Yeah.
good. You and the right mate have a, a the same outlook of the margin on the major issue of life about
Mm-hmm.
money, sex, education. You and the right mate fit in the same way. Now, the right mate faults or the right mate uh, shortcomings are designed by God to make you grow spiritually. Because when God gives you a partner,
I don't know why.
a shortcoming the right mate has are designed to make you stretch your faith and grow more spiritually. For instance, you're going to have to learn to forgive a lot of things, right? So the fact that the right mate is not perfect is part of the plan. That's what I want to say.
Okay. So we had a little issue with the network there, although we got the answer to be that the right mate may not necessarily be a perfect mate. That means that whoever you're going to be connected with could have some weaknesses which you may have to uh, just go along with. I mean, just or how can I put it? I mean, the right mate being the perfect mate is not something that someone should expect.
No.
Okay.
No.
Now, wonderful, and thank you. Now, most of what you have expressed in the first stages points to the spiritual, and you say you are expecting, or rather, we are expecting that someone is going to pick up the book, even though he's not a Christian. Maybe he's not all into spiritual matters, so he wants to look at someone and know whether this is the right mate. And what are the physical characteristics to look for in a right person to marry?
Okay. So in a book, actually, I have a part of the book that talks of 10 characteristics to look for in the right person. 10 characteristics.
Yeah.
Now we have two big kind of characteristics. We have the basic, what I call basic characteristics. We also have the cosmetic characteristics. Now, the
Okay.
10 basic characteristics, I'm going to mention some, not all of them. Now, when I say love, I
That
go beyond
network,
romance.
yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Is it okay?
The bar is a bit shaky. A bit shaky. I don't know why. So you are talking about the characteristics of someone that is a right mate that you should look for.
He is a
Let's
potential
see
right
whether we
mate.
can.
So a
Hello.
potential right mate, yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yes, we can also.
Is it okay?
We can hear you.
Okay. So these are some of the characteristics you should look in a potential mate.
Mm-hmm.
Love. When I say love,
Love.
I go beyond romantic love. I
Yeah.
talk about love for human beings. So the right mate should love people, not just love you as, because if he love you romantically only, when romance goes down, love won't be there. So you want someone who
Yeah.
truly love. The second thing
Uh-huh.
is you want humility. Someone can come and say, "Hey, honey, I'm so sorry for what I did." You want humility.
Yeah.
You want
Mm-hmm.
integrity. Someone you can trust with your finances. Someone you can trust that when he tells you, it is true.
Mm-hmm.
You want someone who has a sense of commitment. Someone who keeps his word. When someone say, "Hey, this is what I'm going to do," that's the thing he does. You want
Mm-hmm.
someone who knows how to forgive, because
Yeah.
in relationship you're gonna have to forgive all the time. So when you
Yeah.
meet someone who doesn't know how to forgive or who keep grudges, that relationship will be dysfunctional.
Mm-hmm.
You want someone who is extramarital affair proof. Someone you know that's not going to cheat on you. You want that.
Yeah.
Someone you know when she says or when he says, "I'm here in a meeting," or meet Patricia, she's my friend. Patricia
Mm-hmm.
is really his friend. So those are the characteristics you want to look for in the some of the characteristics you want to look for. You want someone who fears God, because when the person fears God, you know everything is going to fall in place. Now, these are the basic characteristics.
Oh,
Some
okay.
people expect me to
So we
talk
get the
about,
characteristics. Yeah.
yeah, you want someone who's
You want
financially
to talk
responsible
about?
too. Yeah, you want someone who's financially
Okay.
responsible too. Yeah. Now, of course, some people expect me to talk about you want someone who has a good job, who looks good, who has money. Yeah, those things are fine. But these are not the basic, these are not the most important characteristics you're looking
Okay. Oh, thank you very much. So we've had the characteristics, someone who's forgiving, someone who has integrity, someone who has love, and all those characteristics are there in the book. And
Yes.
this is maybe somewhere sieved through the network so that someone may get the opportunity to buy the book and read them for him or herself. So we don't blame the network. We ask all the listeners who are listening here live and those who are going to watch the recorded version of this video to go and get the book. You can buy it from Amazon,
Yeah,
and
you can buy it from
if
Amazon.
if you don't want to wait for the hard copy to come, especially these times when things are staying in the post, you can read it online on Kindle, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So all those who are listening, watch out for the links. We are going to provide the links, and you buy it from Amazon. And since the network has said that go and read it, then go and read it. But let's see if the network is going to respect it as one more minute, as you share some a little bit, just a final bit, something that you'd like to say in closing, because yeah, they are going to buy the book.
Well, what I would like to say is that, well, I would like to give 5 truths.
Yeah.
5 truths that should guide any person seeking the right mate. The first truth I would say is that the right mate is real. It's something real. It's tangible. The second
Yeah.
thing I would say is that only God can find the right mate, period.
Okay.
Unless you can find a partner on your own, assuming that you are good marriage material, only God
Yeah.
can find the right mate. The third thing I
Okay.
would say is that God is in the matchmaking business. He
Yeah.
loves to satisfy the needs of his children.
Okay.
The fourth thing I would say is that God doesn't know any shortage of mate, because I hear that a lot. Oh, I can't get married
Yeah.
because all good men are gone. There's very few good men. God doesn't know any shortage of mate. He actually has billions of people at his disposal. Why?
Okay.
Let me say that quickly. Why? Because first, he knows where are all the existing great partners. He knows where they are. The second
Mm-hmm.
thing reason is that he has the power, the ability to transform people. So let's say you pray for someone and God say, okay, this is Mark is the husband I want for you, but Mark is not a good boy, he's not a Christian, he doesn't know God, he's a womanizer.
Yeah.
God's
Yeah.
not going to just give up and say, unfortunately, we can't get Mark. No, God's going to get in Mark's lives and change him into the
Mm-hmm.
person he wants you to marry. And so the last truth and the fifth truth is that uh, finding the right mate is the only assurance to being successful.
Uh-huh.
Finding the right mate is the only assurance to being successful in a relationship. Why I'm saying that?
Okay.
Because the right mate is the only person you can identify before getting married.
Uh-huh.
Is the only person you can identify ahead of time before getting married. Any other person, I mean, great partner, he makes you feel good, can be the right mate, but you know, people can divorce after 5, 10, even 25 years. So when you get involved with
Yeah.
someone, you really don't know how it's going to end. But
Mm-hmm.
when you find the right mate, you are sure that's going to be good if you play by the rules. So those are the 5 truths I wanted to leave our audience with.
Okay. Thank you very much for those 5 tips. So we get the picture that some of them are with the people whom are meant to be marrying, but maybe they see them not. But there is that potential of God to change people into the people that they need to be. And yes, only the final thing that we should get there is look up to God, ask him the questions. He has all the answers. He is the creator. He was there in the beginning and is going to be there in the end. So he knows your beginning and your end. So you better trust in him and depend upon him. So thank you very much, Kleber. And thank you very much, all those who are watching us and those who will watch the recorded version of this video. And it's a great pleasure. Go and get the book, More Than a Great Partner, on Amazon, and enjoy your reading. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Anthony, for having me on your show. Thank you. I really enjoy it. I enjoy myself. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Even though you are let down by technology here and there, but yes, it was a great time, and I believe that the viewers also enjoyed. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.